Okay, we're a little late, but we're getting our potatoes in the ground. Ava, you tell me what you're doing?
Loosening the soil.
You're loosening the soil. Do you remember what that tool is called?
Broad fork.
A broad fork, exactly. So broad forks are great for taking your garden beds and just loosening up the soil. They've already planted this garden bed of potatoes, and so they're loosening up our other bed that we made last year to get the potatoes in the ground. And while Ava's loosening all that up, the other kids are working on a different project.
There's a worm, Dad.
That's good.
See, look.
Are there worms in there?
Yes.
Good.
And he just fell.
So
Daddy!
still 100% little kids. All right. Our garden area is a little messy, but it doesn't matter. These guys are working on finishing up some of our seed starting trays. Again, we are a little late, but that's okay. So we mixed together seed starting mix, perlite, peat moss, and a little bit of biochar with mycorrhizal fungi. And this is damp, right, you guys?
Yeah. I mean, no.
And they're filling up their seed trays.
So are these gonna go in that grow light room?
Yep, we're gonna put it in the room on the shelf with the grow lights. And so next year we hope to start this a lot earlier, but we got a little bit of a late start this year.
Am I gonna be able to grow a pumpkin?
So they're working as a team.
We're gonna do the other side now, Joe.
So they're getting them all prepped. And then we have a room with some shelving and grow lights set up to get our seeds started. We're a little later than we should be, but that's okay. Sometimes even if you're later, just get it done.
I got bored. No. Don't do it like that. Daddy, could I try?
Lift it. Next part. Push it down. Wiggle it in there. Step back. Bend it up. Okay. Lift it. Down.
One of the reasons we're a little late this year in putting in our garden is because we want to put in more garden fencing this year. And we've had a lot of other projects going on. But last year when we planted our gardens, we really battled our chickens and our cats in our garden space. And they just made a mess of everything. And so although we did get, we still got good food and we still got food out of it, they really did a lot more damage to our harvest than we would have gotten a lot more if they weren't constantly in it making a mess of it. So this year our goal is like the year of the fences, right, Sean?
Right.
So we're actually going to be putting a fence. This is probably one of the last times you'll see a video where it isn't in. We have sort of a broken fence in this area, and this whole section is open. And then we've just got some cattle panels here. And so whenever our sheep get loose, our cows ever were to get out, or any of our animals were to get out, there was really nothing to prevent them from just coming all the way from our front pasture into our garden. And so that's where they would always come, is right through here into our garden. So we're working on fencing this entire space in with a nice secure fence, and we'll have a gate here so that we're easily can get into the well house. And eventually this whole area that we actually just finished putting our sheep on, it will also have a fence that goes all the way to our other gate. So we'll have a fence along here, and then we'll have another fence that goes behind our workshop so that this whole space will be secure. And that'll be a big help. Just having good fencing is a huge help for making sure that the work that you're doing isn't going to waste. And so the chickens got into this a lot last year, and although we still got a harvest, they just really affected how much we could have gotten from here. So these are the lazy beds that Sean built last year. They are very easy to water. They're good for retaining water. They're not easy to build, but they were still great. We're going to quickly put our potatoes in here. One of the other things we're working on in our garden is we have some of this cedar brush. This is cedar brush that Sean had cleared from this whole area, this fence line area. And so all the kids worked to get this all cleared out. We brought it up to this area. He's been mulching all of it and using that cedar mulch in our garden, in the walkway. So everything is very much a work in progress. But the one thing you will notice is that there's a lot less chickens. There's a couple that have flown over the edge of this, but we put in these electric fences around our chicken coop, and they've done a really good job at keeping most of the chickens in our coop area, and then they're not coming into here and really just destroying everything that we're working on. So although we're still very much a work in progress on this side of the garden, this is the first side that we will plant in. And so you can see that he's mulched up all of the cedar boughs and cleaned up all these cedar walkways, all these mulch walkways. So we won't be dealing with weeds in this whole space, and we'll be able to just plant in here. And once this area is fenced in, we won't be dealing with cats and chickens getting into everything. Like even stuff like this, Sean made these hugelkultur beds, and then they come in and they just get in there and dig them all to pieces. So this is another garden bed that he'll clean up. This will be a hugelkultur bed. There'll be another one on the other side, and there'll be an archway between them. But for now, this half of our garden is pretty much ready to plant in as soon as the fences are up. And then we'll have our potatoes in, and we'll be able to continue to work on finishing the other side of our garden. And that'll be good. So just a real life picture that sometimes when you're homesteading, you have a lot of projects going at the same time, and you just do your best to try to get to them the best way you can. And as long as you're making progress moving forward, that's great. Just so many hands make light work. You guys are doing great. So they've already finished getting all these ready. And these will be for some of our later plants that we'll be planting on the other side. They'll all be ready. Okay, great job, you guys.
Thanks.
Hey, Catherine, can you say like, subscribe, and share
Like, comment, share.
to Full and Family Farm?
And then farm.
Say goodbye.